Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? A gracious good morning to you, good people. It's your girl KB. You know what I do, and you know why I do it. It is Monday morning. It is 3:12 in the a.m. and it's April 21st. You know, as I was walking from my parking spot to my office, I started thinking about Resurrection Sunday, which for me was pretty low key. Now, I bought all the accoutrement for a traditional Easter dinner. But to be perfectly honest with you, I was just far too lazy to cook. So I had some leftovers. So at some point this week, I will be cooking my traditional Easter dinner. Yeah, that part. Everything's all prepped. I just didn't have the energy. As I kind of lost myself in TV yesterday, I had a conversation on the phone with someone who's very near and dear to my heart. And I affectionately refer to them as Monkey. Because Monkey was a itty bitty when she first came into my life, and I think she was 4. And Monkey has always been the kindest, most gentlest spirit that I know. She kept that same energy from childhood up until now in her 30s. And it's just a level of sweetness that keeps me grounded. And so we started talking about faith. And Monkey's Catholic and I'm Protestant. And we just talked about faith and just the significance of Easter. And as we were talking, I came to the realization that people have a very shallow sense of a faith and a faith walk. Caught up in the ritual and, let's say, the look good of it all. That, this makes me a good person, but I don't have to subscribe to any of the tenets or principles or live a life that is indicative of a good person. I want the image, I want the accolades, but I don't want the work. And as I was walking to my office this morning, 2 words popped into my head: shallow pictures. And then I changed it up to shallow pictures. Shallow pictures are the 2-dimensional images in that, I got this image I want you to see, and you can't get close up because I don't want you to see the lack of depth that's there. It's like watching an older television set as opposed to the new 4K pictures where, the people on the screen almost look 3D. Or what is it? OED TV, I think it is now, where it's just the picture is just so vibrant and realistic that, you just kind of mesmerized by the intensity of the screen. Yeah, that part. So it's like, I'm going to present this up front, but this emptiness, notice how the fingers are together here. This is what I'm presenting to you. But the space is here. It's what's behind it. And because I see this, I can't see the gaps. Now, if you're familiar with the old TV, the older sets, your parents told you, hey, don't sit so close to the TV, you ruin your eyes. And what's the first thing you do as a kid? You get right up on top of the TV. And if you ever did that, you saw the resolution dots. You know, those little specks that make up the big picture. People don't want you to see their resolution dots. And they're content to live this two-dimensional lifestyle. You see this, but you don't see the holes. You know, that being said, then I go to the phrase shallow pitchers. Now, I'm not talking about a baseball pitch. I'm talking about the vessel that holds, the vessel that contains. Now, if you're a shallow pitcher, you can't hold a whole lot. And most of us have just enough faith, just enough capacity to contain, you know, that communion cup worth of, you know, whatever, knowledge, faith. Now, scripture says if you have faith the size of a mustard seed, you know, you have faith that can move mountains, right? So you do have the capacity, and you do have the capacity to go to a larger vessel in your learning and your commitment and your connection. But most of us are content with that little cup. And it's not like we're feeding anybody from this little cup, because a shallow pitcher can only pour so much. Right? And this is the I got mine portion of faith. We don't share it. Oh, I might offend somebody by talking about what I believe. You might also save somebody by talking about what you believe. But you're more concerned about offending than you are about telling somebody something that could save their life. Shallow picture. Shallow picture. You know, or change their life. I want you to think about the two words, or the two different phrases, shallow picture and shallow pitcher today. And ask yourself, now this is on piggybacking on Easter. Ask yourselves, what needs to be resurrected and revitalized in my life? Can I make and keep a commitment? Has my faith grown beyond, or my desire to have my faith grow beyond? See, most people are content to believe what other folks have told them and never know for themselves. Most people are content to practice a sense of legalism as opposed to engaging in active loving. And because of that, most of our relationships and connections are shallow pictures and pitchers. Again, what do you need to resurrect and revitalize in your life?